Hey, and welcome to Women Today. My name is Amira and I'm the host for the show. Today's episode is going to be very interesting. We have the CEO of Isuzu East Africa. Isuzu East Africa is a leading motor vehicle industry in this part of the region. And Ms. Rita Kavashe is unique because she's the first woman to have taken this position at this organization. And to make it better, she's the first black woman to have the same position within this organization. So sit back, relax as we learn from her feet today. Thank you very much, Ms. Rita, for agreeing to join Women today. It is a great pleasure to have you on the show. And right now you are the CEO of a whole motor vehicle industrial company, Isuzu East Africa. On the road coming here, I've seen, I can't even count the number of vehicles I've seen. So it's a really big name, and we know the woman behind it is you, right? And I wanted to just maybe bring this down a little so that people can actually be able to relate with you right now, because a big name and oh wow, yeah. So maybe you can just start by telling us a little bit about you, maybe where you lived before your childhood. How was it like? Your family set up, and maybe the things that you learned along the journey as a child.
Wow, that can take the whole day. But I grew up in Taita Taveta County now. It's at the border of Kenya and Tanzania. And I grew up in the village, going to school in a village school and doing all those things that children of my age did when we were growing.
Yeah.
I am a last born of two,
Nice.
my brother and myself. Lost my mom when I was just about 6 years old, so I'm a daughter brought up by a great man. My father brought us up, and we went to school in the village. The village was our community, and the parents, the local parents, were our parents. They kind of brought us up. Those days you were brought up by a community. You were not brought up by only your parents. So we learned many great lessons of growing up, not only from our fathers and mothers in the village, but everybody was a mother, everybody was a father. So community we were taught living, by the community. So that's my background. So I kind of learned quite a bit in terms of being responsible. Early in my age, I can't remember when I was a teenager. Really, if you ask me what did I do when I was a teen, I would struggle to remember because I think I matured pretty early because of our situation that I had to help my dad, who worked with the Kenya Railways, to do some of the family work. You know, from school you come, you can wash the utensils, learn how to cook.
Were you the only girl?
I was the only girl, so me and my brother, those two siblings. So it was a great time, you know, kind of growing. In retrospect, when I think about it, and people ask me, how come you are the way you are? And then I am wondering, what am I? You know, kind of work ethic, working hard, being connected to the community, ability to easily do stuff. You know, I'm a salesperson by profession, so I did a lot of market work as I was growing up. Going to market was part of my work. So I learned to sell quite early in my life. You know, going to the market, you're selling tomatoes, and everybody's selling tomatoes. So you have to be very creative and innovative to make sure your tomatoes are bought and you're able to buy your pen or have your Coca-Cola soda that was not easily available. If you went to the market and you sold your tomatoes, and you'd have an opportunity to buy your pens and your school books. Oh, but also you can take your favorite soda.
Those are straight up skills that you learned as a child, communication skills, and that led you to the leadership role that you have. Community living. I've seen now the marketing and sales aspect. So basically you were skill started quite young, and that's very impressive. Fast forward to maybe the early adulthood, maybe in college. The most fond memory you'd remember?
A fond memory of childhood, I think I do have some fond memories.
Okay.
And my fond memories were around my father and how committed he was.
Yeah.
So he taught me commitment. He was a man, he was young, and he was bringing up 2 children.
Yeah.
But he was a very, very committed parent.
Okay.
I remember my father always coming back home with a packet of milk and our bread for tomorrow. He brought them religiously every day. From work. And
so you never lacked?
No, we never lacked. And he would do the mother's work, you know, help with the cleaning of the house, preparing the meals for us. So to me, I treasure. I still remember and say what a great father he was, and how privileged we were, me and my brother, to have our father there to bring us up. So it was a great time. Fond memories of my cousins and aunties, and just growing up in the village. We played and had a great time. But not, you know, when you look at teenage years today and the struggles that parents go through, you know, bringing up teens, the complications that come with it, I didn't give, I would imagine, maybe if my father was here and he was asked if you had a problem with her as a teen, maybe he would say yes, but I don't remember us creating such stubbornness to our parents and all that, because then the community was there to make sure we towed the line.
Okay. Would you say that your father was a feminist? Let's just say simply believed in women empowerment. So he was maybe at the core of pushing you to achieve greater and saying you're a woman, but you can do it.
He made a commitment to be on-site. If you work hard and go to a government school, I will pay the school fees for you. Okay. So he gave me an opportunity.
And pushed you
he
to
understood
work harder,
because he worked and he was exposed. He understood the value of education. So he was very frank to me and said, if you go to a government school, remember, if you went to a private school, you didn't have, I don't have the money to take you to private school. But if you go to a government school, you pass your grades and you go to a government school, then I will give you the support that you need to continue with your education. So he challenged me right there, and luckily I was able to attend government school, and here I am.
So you were always a go-getter from when you were young, let's just say. Okay, but then something interesting I have learned from reading about you was that you started off as a teacher, wanting to be a teacher, and then now you somehow changed your careers to become a sales lady. So many other young ladies have that, I would say, it's not really a challenge, but it's a journey to finding yourself, where you leave college having a degree in something, and then you come off to the job market and it's different, and the kind of experiences that you're trying to get, maybe job satisfaction, you don't really get it from what you're doing. What did you say about that?
So one, I didn't choose to be a teacher. You are graded and you are posted to a university, and you are going to start education. So we did the education, and again, I was with a team of my friends who are still my great friends up to today.
Okay. Nice.
We did our education, passed our degree, and then we decided, we were posted actually. I was posted to Bura Girls to go and teach. So
Bura Girls, sorry, where is that?
Bura Girls is in my county, Taita Taveta County. So I was going to be near home, but I didn't want to go to be home right now. I had come, I'd seen the city, I'd been exposed, and I wanted to do something much more interesting other than just teaching. So we talked when we were finishing our university degree with my friends. Do we really want to go teach? Can we go out to this city called Nairobi and try to put our hands on other work other than teaching? So we came out here. Some went to work in, we looked for jobs. Some went into the banking industry. I started at a research work at the University of Nairobi. So I was working as a research assistant in the Department of Urban Planning. From there, I got a job at Integrated Systems when computing was actually starting. So I was proofreading tailor-made computer software. Then I became a trainer, but mainly selling the software that the company created. That's where my sales job started. And that's where I kind of knew that I had what it takes to sell. This was
back which year?
This was in 1993.
Wow.
When computing was just
still a new
thing, a new thing, and we were already developing tailor-made software for microfinance institution. We had a software even for the legal fraternity. So I was going to the lawyers. I was going
trends at that time. That is nice. That's very insightful. So one thing that you really cherished or really embraced along the journey was the idea of having, once you got into Isuzu, was people who saw the light in you. They saw the motivation, they saw the hard work, and mentored you all through the journey. So would you say that identifying a mentor, having a mentor, is a very important thing to have in your career, but then also just in your personal life?
It was not easy to get a mentor during my time, but I was lucky to have worked for General Motors. So what General Motors was very good at was identifying potential leadership talent. So if you expressed a desire to progress in your career, or you had interest in leading, they gave you an opportunity. To be a leader, and they identify their high potential employees through the work they do, how those employees viewed the company, were they working in a siloed mentality, or they looked at the organization in its totality. Did they care about the bottom line of the company even though they were not in leadership position? Did they have interest in the company? Did they have interest in stakeholders, employees? Were they holistic in their outlook? Were they visionary and long-term? So they were able to identify those through performance appraisal, discussion, one-on-one conversation. And I was identified as one of those, and then was trained. I was trained over a period of 10 years to start getting into leadership position. But last few years before I became a CEO, like 3 years to becoming a CEO, then there was really intense leadership development, mentorship, which to us was more traveling to a new location, experiencing new leaders, your boss making a presentation of you, who you are, what are your capabilities, how do you engage with others. And I always remember this. One time we were in Singapore, and we were taken there by our bosses, so to be exposed to other bosses. And what was interesting, the boss who ended up becoming my boss was not my boss then, but we met because you were meeting all the senior bosses of an entire region. And they had a discussion about us. So my boss would make a presentation of me. This is Rita, this is her capabilities, she's a future leader of the company, and all that. Then when they got out and we were having dinner, so we were interacting and sitting with different bosses, my immediate former boss told me, you need to go and change your photo. Your profile photo in People Finder, our company, then a software where you get access to employees' information, is not as good as you look. It's not as professional as you look, Rita. Look, you had a paint on your face. Can you go and change your profile picture?
What do you mean a paint on your face?
Yes, how do you look? So I was so happy because I was given very good feedback. So leadership development was a commitment of General Motors, and to me, they built my leadership capability very much. I'm getting mentors now, and my mentors are very informal. I am not like informal, but I know leaders I respect, leaders I aspire to be like, leaders that share my values, and if I need advice from time to time, then I go to them. My group of friends are my great mentors. My employees are my mentors. They are very open. They tell it the way it is. Rita, here we don't think you're doing a good job. You need to do this. And I learn from my ecosystem.
That's interesting. That's really quite humble, and also a very good trait where you have literally sat down at the feet of leaders and other people to learn from the best and be the best. Quite a humble character that has reminded me of something else, that today young ladies, and not just ladies but youth in general, we tend to be in one company, and in 1 year you're out to the next company looking for, you call it better what did we call it? Greener pastures. Exactly. We're always looking for greener pastures, jumping from one job to the next, one job to the next. I don't know, what would you say about that? Will it be something that you'd advise ladies to at least sit down and get to understand what that level of career that they are at, what is the important, what they need to learn from it?
I think the environment right now, I call them our children because my son is in the age of those guys who are now getting into the job market. They kind of have this desire to progress quickly because the world is moving very fast. The world is uncertain. They're looking for enjoyment. They're looking for projects, and they already have the support. Some are lucky in the sense that they have the support of their parents in terms of, if I take a risk in a new career path, at least I will have mom give me shelter. In my time,
there was nothing.
It was you and you and you alone. So taking risk was something that we feared. You wanted to be in a more safe environment where you can grow your career from within. But the new generation is looking to progress very quickly. They want to make more money very quickly, and when you move from one job to another, then you are able to also, if you get into a good organization, make some more money. But my advice to them is to create a balance. You need to be grounded. You need to be solid. And 1 year, I don't think is good enough to solidify your capabilities and your skills so that you are marketable for more when you go to the next job.
Level. Yes, that's true.
So grounding is very, very important when you are in an organization, and I'm mentoring many of my female employees here, and we are having those discussions. Today here at Isuzu East Africa, what skills are you developing? What skills do you need today to do your work? In the next 2 years, what set of skills do you need to grow within or to exit and grow from without? So we are mapping those skills so that you can be able then to be more marketable, you can make more money. And also employers are looking for employees who have also some form of stability and some depth in terms of skill and knowledge, so that when you get to the next role, you are able to be useful. Because employers get employees because they want to leverage their skills to grow the business. So if you don't have good skills, then it becomes difficult for you to really grow upward. So it's a mix. Look, I would advise young ladies to do kind of a mapping in terms of the job they're doing today. What is the job they want to do in the next 3 years? What skills do they need to develop so to be marketable for the job of 3 years? Get some form of grounding. If the organization is good, there is also value growing from within, because it's territories, you know, it's territories you can navigate. If there's no opportunity, don't be stuck in one location. Make a move, because when you make a move, you grow. You learn new skills, you get new ideas, not only for the money, but also for experience.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So you're simply passing on what you have learned from other leaders to the next generation. How many years has it been at Isuzu now?
24 years now.
Whoa. That's patience also.
Of course, General Motors first, and then Isuzu, we just became Isuzu about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay. That's really broad.